Live from Pittsburgh, this is Rona Sutton reviewing the production that I saw at the Oaks Theater of Cavalleria Rusticana and Pagliacci, which were filmed at La Scala. They were live performances, and we saw them delayed here. They were very interesting. I thought some other people might want to know about them. My overall impression was disappointment. The biggest disappointment was the conductor of both operas, whose name is Daniel Harding. I have nothing personally against him. I'm sure he's a very nice person. The biggest problem he had was keeping the orchestra and chorus together. However, that can be a problem for a variety of reasons. But there were 3 moments in the 2 operas that were so disappointing that they ruined both operas. The first was during Pagliacci, when he sings his very famous aria. It was rushed through, and there was no emotional pull and push to make the aria heartfelt. Then in Cavalleria Rusticana, one of my favorite operas, I say that about almost all the operas, but that is really one of my favorite operas musically, because I just love the music. I'm not too thrilled with the story. Don't ask me to review the plot because there is none. First, the scene where the soprano sings over the chorus in the Inagiamo was just like, okay, it was nice, but it didn't have a big climax. Then the moment that I look forward to the most, like if I could come back, I'd be Santuzza, is where she sings her big duet with Turiddu. And, you know, the part that goes, da, 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 da. Well, it was awful. Because there was no build-up. It didn't expand. It didn't contract. So that made the opera, like, dreadful. Okay, now on to the singers. There was a lot of good singing. I would say overall, the best singing was, I can't pronounce her name correctly. I know I'm going to mess it up. Luciana D'Intino. She really pulled off this role very well. Gave it a lot of drama. Her voice is steely, beautiful. She had a lot of elegance and style. In Pagliacci, there was somebody I never heard of. Her name is Oksana, Dyka, Dyka. She's Ukraine, very young, gorgeous. Also, she knows how to dominate and play with the stage. I just loved her voice. To me, she sounds like a mezzo. But when I looked her up on YouTube, there she was singing Tosca and Madame Butterfly, obviously not mezzo roles. But when she started singing Nedda, that was definitely a mezzo voice to me. And as she got up higher, her voice kind of thinned out the way a mezzo's voice would thin out. The other outstanding singers were the 2 baritones. First, we had the baritone in Cavalleria Rusticana, whose name is Claudio Sgura. I also found him on YouTube. He's a really good singer. I liked his voice. In the beginning, I didn't like it too much because he had a quick vibrato. But that kind of went away, and then it was really excellent. Then in Pagliacci, the baritone was Ambrogio Maestri. Beautiful voice. Reminded me a little bit of today. That kind of light lyric, but full-bodied sound. The other singers were very good in a variety of ways. I would say in the Cavalleria Rusticana, the Mama Lucia, Elena Zilio, somebody I never heard of, also really, really good. I did not care for Lola, but she was okay. Giuseppina, Piunti. In Pagliacci, the Silvio Mario Cassi had a beautiful voice, but guess what? He had a head mic. And I think the soprano had a teeny tiny head mic too. That was weird. Okay, the productions. The Pagliacci was set in like 2010, 2011, and it worked. Guess what? There were no Nazis. This is so great to have, a modern opera without war. I don't know how they figured that out. They had a lot of circus act kind of things going on, a lot of acrobats that kept the pace of the interest of the audience up, which was good because the orchestra and the conductor didn't do it. So you really needed that. In Cavalleria Rusticana, it was a very stark set, like no set. The main prop were chairs where people sat, they faced the audience, then they turned them around and they faced the rear of the stage. That was the set. But the lighting was extremely dramatic. And I have to say that the tenor, who was Salvatore Licitra, we all know who he is, but I can't ever pronounce these Italian names correctly, so don't hold it against me. He was very good. He sang smoothly, beautiful voice, stylistically. On the other hand, Jose Cura, he should give it up. It's like he still has it, but he just doesn't give it, or there's something wrong there. So overall, I wasn't too thrilled. Chorus and orchestra does not hold up to the Met at all, in my opinion. The Met has such a great chorus and such a great orchestra. Those of us who go to see the live HD productions, or those of us who are lucky enough to go to real live performances, I get to a few, we are lucky. And I've always wondered what it was like at La Scala. Now, of course, I wasn't there live, but this is as good as it's going to get from me because I don't have any plans for going to Milan in the near future. So there you have it, the review of Cavalleria Rusticana and Pagliacci as reviewed by me. Thank you for listening.